Hello, welcome to Tile Coach. I'm Isaac Ostrom. I'm going to be putting in a tile ready pan and bench kit today. I've never done one of the base and bench kits. Excited to do this. I didn't purchase this pan. Tile Ready didn't supply it to us. This was purchased by the homeowner. What happened was he saw my video that we did for Lori up in Paradise where the fire destroyed her home, and we went up there, did a charity project. We built a shower for her, and Tile Ready, that's how I was introduced to Tile Ready. They reached out, they supplied the pan for that job. So we did that video, went great, and then the homeowner, Bob, saw that video. He bought the Tile Ready system, and then he hired us to come put it in, which is really, I want to thank Bob for supporting both us, our construction company, and Tile Ready. That's really cool. So this is kind of a full circle moment, and I'm going to be putting this in. So I want to do a tutorial on how to do the base and the bench kit since I haven't done one before. So let's get started. The subfloor is ready. We got our 6-inch hole cut out. That's what's required here. So we just took our measurement from the drain hub, and what you do, measured off the valve wall, and I got 6 inches, and then off of the back wall I have 19 inches. So that's pretty simple to figure out. Just go 6 off of here, 19 off of here, and then you get a 6-inch hole so that the hub can fit down in there. Now we're going to do this one a little bit different than I've done the ones in the past. Because we have access below, there is crawl space here. That's really nice. We're going to go ahead and hook up the plumbing afterwards. If you do have access from below, I recommend doing it that way. The only time that we do it from the top is if it's a concrete slab foundation, or if it's a second story where you don't have access there. Here's the bench kit. This thing is really cool, man. Look at this. You know, these are also areas that are really prone to leaking. Benches, I see it all the time in my videos. They don't waterproof them correctly. And because it has this little splash wall here, you know, this is a really critical seam that's already waterproofed and built in. So that's just going to fit in just like that afterwards. All integrated, no potential leak points here on the horizontal surface. This is rad. I like this. So what I have here is some aqua bar paper. This is what Tile Ready likes to see. You can use roofing felt or any other cleavage membrane on this. Fight that. Okay, got the tar paper down. I probably should have dry fit it before. I'm pretty sure it's going to fit, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the hole so I can dry fit it. This is a 60 by 42, so it's a pretty big pan. Go ahead and put it up against the wall. Yeah, so good fit, but yeah, we got a nice dry fit in here, so we're ready to get this mortar down, mixed up, ready to go. So the way you calculate your measurements for the thickness of the mortar, because we're going to put down a mortar bed in here, is that you take the deepest part of the rib. So down at the drain, the ribs are shallow because we've got slope going down to the drain. The farthest point away from the rib is where you're going to take your measurement. So we got 1.25 inches at the deepest part of the rib on the pan. So what you do, once you get that measurement 1.25 inches, you're supposed to subtract 1/4 inch. That gives us 1 inch. And then what I've done is I've taken a piece of tape in my margin trowel, and you can do this with a stick or whatever, but I thought it would be handy to have it on my margin trowel. Is I put that 1 inch mark on the blue tape on my margin trowel, so as I go I can use this as a depth gauge. Zach already mixed up the mortar 3 bags, kind of a way to calculate how much mortar you're going to use in any one area. I came up with 17.5 square feet. I took the inches, which is 42 by 60, totaled that up. That measurement you divide by 144 to get from inches to square feet, and I came up with 17.5. One 50-pound bag of mortar, and that's 50, not a 60-pound. One 50-pound bag of mortar will do 5 square feet at 1 inch. I figured 3 bags would be 15 square feet at 1 inch, but since they're 60-pound bags, you know, that's 20% more. So I calculated out it's going to be 3 bags. We have 4 buckets, but that's still just 3 bags. So anyways, that might help if you're trying to calculate out how much to use. I'm guessing it's going to be right around 3 bags or close to it. The other thing I have is my Marshalltown trowel. If you want to buy one of these, I have them for sale at tilecoach.com. And I have different size flat trowels, but this one is probably my favorite. I'll put a card up here so you can buy one. Really good trowels, made in the USA. They'll last forever. They'll last the lifetime of however long you're working for. And you can probably hand them down to your kids or whoever too at the end. Really high quality trowels. I have margin trowels on there too. So if you'd like to support me, go to tilecoach.com. We got all kinds of tools and stuff over there. So this is the consistency that you want your mortar. It's pretty much like a milkshake here. Nice and loose. You want it to pour out and be easily tamped and spread into place. If your mortar's too stiff, you're going to fight this. So let's get going on it. Start with my first bucket here. Let's see, 42. I'm going to draw a line. They also want you to bring the mortar out past the curb. So my curb is at 42, so I'm going to bring it out to 46. I'm just going to do a line there. A line there. So that's about where I want to bring the mortar out to. One bag. Yeah, so if your mortar doesn't pour out like that, it's too stiff. Go add a little bit of water to it, mix it back up. So you're also supposed to keep it one inch from the edges. That's going to allow some space for mortar to squish out in there. I mean, this is really easy to trowel out. When you mix it loose like this, it's pretty easy. And we put some tape over the trap down below. It's pretty far down there, but we were careful to tape off the trap because I didn't want mud to fall down into the hole. Another thing to watch out for is, you know, sometimes, especially if you're buying mortar from Home Depot or something, you got to make sure that there's no rocks in that mortar. You know, if those bags have ever gotten wet, because the thing is people can bring stuff back to the big box stores. So if it sits in somebody's truck and happens to get rained on and they bring it back and the worker just sets it back on the shelf, you know, it'll get little rocks in it, you know, sometimes big chunks. If you have any rocks, if you feel any rocks in your mortar at all, that's not a good sign. Sometimes you can just pick them out, but if there's too many, you might need to scrap it and start over, because it'll hold up on these little ridges. Say if one of those rocks happens to hit on one of these ridges, it'll hold up the entire pan. So the 3-bag seems like it's a bit much, but it feels like it's thicker than 1 inch, but we'll see. Okay, so let's start playing around with our. Hand me a sponge, Zach. I got my nice tape line, so I'm going to use that. Actually, that's the first spot I hit was right on. So, dang, that's pretty, a little thicker there, but that's, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but that's just eyeball. That's pretty dang good. Yeah, I like the margin trowel better. I've done it with the stick before, and the stick, you know, kind of absorbs the mortar, so it gets clumpy on there. This margin trowel stays real clean. Dang, I like that. I think we're right there. Maybe a little thick here. And again, you want to pull it away from the edges. They want you to stay away from the edges 1 inch. I'll pull that back. Oh, this is a 42-inch pan, so you're really gonna have to stretch. Feeling pretty good about this. I'm gonna do another check with my trowel. And look at that, we're like right there. So I like it. So yeah, it doesn't take that much. I mean, I might be a little bit better at this than your average DIYer, but you know, because I can kind of get the feel of the mortar. But this was really easy to spread. Really easy to get the gauge, and really easy to mix because Zach mixed it on the 110-degree heat. It's hot today. We're out in Slough House, California, which is kind of the eastern side of Sacramento County, just getting up into the farmland and stuff. It's a neat property. He's got a big barn. He's got some cattle. You know, cows are interesting animals. I've never been around farms and stuff, but they're just such big beasts, and they act like little puppies. They're really cool. But then he's got some vineyard and everything. But yeah, Zach mixed these up in the heat, helped out a lot. So I think I can get this pan in. I'm going to try to do this solo. Again, a 42-inch wide pan is kind of a big ask for that, but I think we can. I think I can do it. I think I can. That's how I learned to ride a bike. I think I can. I remember when I was learning, I was probably like 4 or 5. One of the older neighborhood kids, he was probably, you know, like a teenager or something. I was scared of riding a bike by myself. I took the training wheels off, and he says, you got to just say to yourself, I think I can. And I just started saying that, and sure enough, he held onto the seat and let it go, and I was pedaling and I did it. So maybe that's a good tip for you guys when you're ready to do something. I think I can. Okay, so usually the way that these go in easiest is to go in with the short side up against the wall first. So I'm going to kind of balance it right there. See if I can get that corner in right here. There we go. So yeah, it's usually easiest to go in like this. Don't try to go this way. They tend to bind up going that way. In my experience, and this is my second one. So I'm talking like I got a ton of experience here, but just like anything, the second one goes faster. And then it might bind up on some framing, and usually all you have to do is lift up on this side and see, it just went right in. So that's that. They don't want you to jump in here and really push it around. They want you to start by pushing down on the short side and just wiggling it. Just wiggling back and forth to set those ridges down in to the mortar. And they want you to start around the drain because, you know, if anything, we want to err on the pan tilted towards the drain, not away from it, right? So we want to smash down the drain side and then work our way that way. Gosh, it's amazing how much easier the second go around is from the first. The first one, I was fighting, mixed some mud up, too stiff. Didn't really know how to, you know, I was trying to put the pin in this way instead of this way. And so this sucker went in way easier. So you're supposed to put your level up on the splash wall to see where you're at. So that corner needs to come down. And yeah, so this corner needs to come down. Also, yeah, don't set your level on the pan because obviously that's not level. You want to use your splash wall as the reference. Again, look how nice that is to have a pan that you just drop in. There's no corners to deal with, no potential leak points. The drain is integrated, and this is just awesome. I love this system. I really do. Okay, so I got a tool that I want to show. I had a company that just sent this one out to me. I'd provide the information on it, but I think I just kind of forgot. These are for vibrating tiles. When you put up big tiles and you can't really set them, you vibrate it so it sets into the mortar. And I'm going to see how that works with this pan here. It has a suction cup too, so if you're holding a tile, you can pick up the tile, but we're not doing that, we're just vibrating. There we go. Now we got the bubble right in the middle. See how we're doing here. Yeah, now I need to go down on this side. Yep. I mean, that was pretty easy. That vibrating tool made it really simple to just do little bits at a time. Because when you're just shifting it, you're kind of guessing. But that vibrator, I was able to go kind of just really sink it in there. All right, so once you get it level, you can sink a screw in. Because like this side just wants to stay flipped up a little bit. So I just need to pin a screw in here to hold it. Zach, you got a screw? So you can hear that. Squishing that down. So just kind of how you would do a tub lip. You don't want to screw into the actual pan. Just have that screw pinning it so it can't come up. Let's see if how that did. And I'm using this level to just double check my other level. Yeah, now we're pretty much perfect. I just need to get a little bit right there. Get another screw, Zach. I'll do one on this side. See our level looking really nice there. Yeah, I'm good on that side. I am good on this side. Level right in the middle. And then good on this side. Oh yeah, that's a good feeling when that bubble goes into the middle. So I don't know, Zach, how long did that take me? That was probably like 20 minutes. Get this thing in? Mm-hmm. Was it longer? I lose track of time.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like it went so much easier than the first one I did. And so after you get that set, I should probably I think I'll put a couple screws on the inside too, just to keep it in place. Yeah, so they really don't want you getting on here and working on it anymore. They want you to let this pan set and dry. So yeah, you pin it in there, so because things will move sometimes as mortar cures. It can kind of, do different things. So they suggest pin it in, let it set up, come back and work on it the next day. So it might be something that you want to do maybe at the end of the day, and then we do have other things to do. We're doing the rest of the flooring in here and everything, so we're gonna prep it for self-leveler. Stay tuned for the videos to come on this, because we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. So yeah, then you just take the extra mortar and clean it off. They really want this front edge supported really well, so that's why they have you put extra mortar out here. But really, there's not much mud. You can see that's like maybe 1/4 inch that's under the curb. So we did 3 bags of 60-pound Type S mortar. And it looks like we're going to have about a 1/4 bag left over for extra, and that's it. So if you're doing a smaller pan like a 36 by 60, 3 bags of 60-pound Type S mortar should be plenty. I always like a little extra. We brought 4 bags just in case. We're probably about a good 30 minutes from the nearest supply store, so. So that's that. I do think we can get this bench on here though, Zach. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off just so it's out of the way. Okay, so I'm getting the bench dry fitted in here, and the size, because we came up on the pan a little bit, we came up about a 1/4 inch on the pan with the mortar. The bench isn't fitting in there perfectly. I guess we could put, so this lip is going to need to be cut. What I'm doing is I'm going to drop it all the way down, make a mark where it needs to be cut. And then do the same thing on this side. So I'm just making sure that this part right here is all the way on the plywood. You can see that. And then making a mark to where I need to trim it. It's just about a 1/4 inch. Okay, so we got the bench dry fit in here. Got it trimmed so that we got a nice gap everywhere, nice and tight. So what I'm going to do with the bench, I'm going to do this a little bit unconventional, and I can tend to do those types of things sometimes, but I'm going to be using Redi sealant to put a bead right down here before I drop the bench on. I'm going to put Redi sealant on all the dimensional 2x4 lumber. I'll probably put some dollops up here just to hold the splash wall in too. And then I'm going to use modified thinset on the plywood with a 1/2 inch notch trowel. Because this bench was framed a little bit out of level, we didn't frame it. You can see we're a little bit out. So that thinset is going to allow us to build up a little bit. It's a little sketchy just dot setting with sealant on the bench top here. It would probably be fine, but I like to overbuild things, so that's what we're going to do. So first thing I'll do is I'll do the thinset first. This is a 1/2 inch notch trowel. I do have these for sale at tilecoach.com. This would be easier if I waited till tomorrow too, but I don't want to. So I have to avoid stepping into the pan there. But yeah, good 1/2 inch notch. This side's going to be built up a little bit higher over here. I can probably use that vibrator tool to set this guy into. We'll see. I'm putting a little more thinset on this side. Okay. Also gonna put a little back butter on the bench here, just so it gets really good adhesion with this marble thinset. Put a good bead on here. This is an MS polymer sealant. Very good sealant. You can use the Tile Redi flashing, but I prefer to use the sealant instead. A good bead up here. Yeah, a little bit on these studs won't hurt. Okay, so this should be ready, right? Alright, so I got the bench in. That went in pretty easily. Everything came in nice. I put this one jam piece up because I want to show how I waterproof this seam. Since this is kind of a critical seam to be waterproofed here, I'm going to be using some banding, and I'm also going to be using the Tile Redi sealant as the adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead and put the sealant on there. I'm going to give myself a good bead. I'm going to use my V-notch trowel to clean this out. I think I might need some more. This caulking gun's acting up a little bit, but it's going to get the job done. I do have this banding for sale on my website as well. Tile Redi is coming out with their own band. I'm not sure if it's out quite yet though. That just adds a little bit better layer of protection on the critical seams. And Tile Redi does have flashing, some metal flashing you can use, but I like the banding better. To me, it lays down better. It doesn't have any bump out, and you're not dealing with metal in a tile application either. It's just kind of nice to use this banding. Swish it down real nice, get all the air bubbles out. It lays in there really nicely. So again, it's kind of that double layer of protection. Not only does it have the sealant in between the boards and the sealant, it has this banding as a flashing. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and leave that as it is. If you're using tools and trowels, like, you know, I got some of this MS Polymer sealant on my trowel. You can use these crocodile wipes. Where'd you get these, Zach?
Home Depot.
Home Depot, yeah. So plastic putty knives are also nice to have. They're somewhat disposable. But yeah, the crocodile wipes are nice because they'll clean your tools. Water doesn't clean. Water won't take it off. So you can use mineral spirits, denatured alcohol, or acetone. But these wipes are really handy. So yeah, got that sealant off of there. And I mean, I don't know if I can think of a better way, more foolproof way to install a tile shower system. Like, I mean, think about it. There's no failure points. You know, the Schluter, all the other brands have that seam. Even Wedi, you know, I call them a puzzle piece system because it's like putting different parts, and all of the critical areas are taken care of. And doing stuff like this, there is no way there's ever going to be a problem with that. The sealant doesn't wick any water, so you know it's not like thinset that can draw the moisture behind it. So I'm really happy with this. This is what I advise when I do my one-on-one consultation. So if you do have a tile project and you're looking for help on it, I offer one-on-one consultations. You can go to tilecoach.com. I'll put a link up here so you can check it out. But we can do 30, 45, 60-minute sessions. I can take a look at your job site. You know, every job site's different, so there's different methods I recommend, but when I can, I advise a tile-ready system because, again, the elimination of those potential failure points at the critical areas, and not everybody can float a mortar bed like the professionals can. So we had this installed, and you know, from coming in start to finish, it was about 2.5 hours for me to do all this. And plus we're filming video, so we got to stage things and make sure it's all set up. So, you know, I believe I could probably do this in about an hour if I was just gung-ho and went straight for it. So really simple, fast way to get a shower that has virtually zero potential leak points. And, you know, what else can you ask for? So we're gonna be doing the rest of this job. Make sure you're subscribed, have your notifications on so you can see those videos as you pop up. I'll try to put any relevant links down in the description below. Before I go, I love you. I love being your tile coach. We'll see you on the next video.